It is time for the picks segment of our show. And first, if you can check the poll question, please, let's get an update on that.
Alrighty. I would bet blank that Lane Kiffin is. Oh, no. Do you trust Caleb's picks? Yes, go Caleb. No, seek help.
There we go. All right.
74% say no, seek help. Guys, we're coming back, okay? On my best bets, I went 3-2 this past weekend. Coming around. After 0-10 2 weeks in a row, which is really hard to do, guys. It's really hard to miss on all 5 picks 2 weeks in a row. But I am coming back. I went 3-2 this past weekend. It was my first winning weekend, and it's my first profit-turning weekend at 60%. Not on my overall bets. I was horrible on that. So we're just going to stick with my best bets and saying that.
Best
However,
bets. And then I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the Tennessee game, and I've been all on it. All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to run down the list of just regular bets real quick, and then we'll get to it. So top 25 tonight, we got a big one. Nebraska and Illinois, two top 25 teams, Dave. It's at Nebraska. They cover the 7.5 point spread, take the over 42.5. Now that Nebraska's good, that home crowd's too dangerous.
Fair with that. I'll roll with that.
That's hot.
All right. So starting on Saturday, I know they just got blown out by Toledo. I know that, but it's first-year head coach inconsistency. Take Mississippi State +6 against Florida at home and take the under in this game. I think it's going to be an ugly, sloppy game that Mississippi State wins.
I actually think that's one of the easiest picks on the board. And Edgar Thompson of Florida said as much. And I think he would have laid his mortgage on it if he didn't cover that game, which, he should be allowed to bet his mortgage if you have to spend more than 2 hours in Starkville, because the unfortunate part about being in Starkville is that you have to pay for your hotel rooms and chickens and pies.
And when we talk about bad college towns, that's
because they're still in the barter system.
Oh, I know the joke. Okay. Also, they have cowbells because a cow one time got loose and got on the field. That's literally why they do cowbells.
Okay, that part is pretty cool, though. That's a cool tradition. All right, what else you got?
All right, so Kentucky and Ohio. I think Kentucky covers the 20-point spread, but I think the game hits the under 41.5. This will be an ugly game, but I think Kentucky does cover. The game hits the under. I think LSU and UCLA. UCLA covers a 22.5 point spread, and the game hits the over. And they cover because Eric Bieniemy torches Brian Kelly's defense, which has just been a disaster, and there's no way around it. So,
love Eric Bieniemy, deserves to be a head coach in the NFL.
I agree. Auburn, Arkansas. I know Auburn looked ugly last week, but I think they cover at home against Arkansas 2.5, and we'll take the over 56.5.
I root for Sam Pittman.
I know you are. You love him because he's such a good guy.
Sam Pittman. He's a good guy, but he's an old school guy, and I would like to see football be a little less soft.
Well, it's a character 180. Unfortunately, I'm picking on the terrible character person in Hugh Freeze because Sam Pittman's a great guy. All right, so USC at Michigan. I think USC covers the 5-point spread, and I'm taking the over.
Yes, Michigan is on a downhill slide. Their head coach doesn't even have a contract. Caleb compared him to Philip Fulmer, which was odd. And Sharon Moore is going to have just a devastatingly bad season and end up looking for a job, which technically I don't even think he has one. I don't even think anybody's confirmed that he's gotten paid in the past 6 months.
I think he finally got the contract during last Saturday. He barely beat Butch Jones, guys. So Butch Jones is Michigan's next head coach. That's who they're going to hire. They'll get.
Oh, wow.
So next, Oklahoma State.
You say that, but that's not absurd because they're going to be in a position like Tennessee was with Pruitt with so many sanctions and stuff, or that when Lane took the USC job, which he shouldn't have, they're going to be in that position. So that's not absurd that they would have to dip to that level.
That's, what's funny. Also, Butch has his best team at Arkansas State that he's had, and they could actually be really good for that level. So he could re-raise his profile this year. Butch Jones is coming back, guys. Okay, so next, I got Oklahoma State covering the 2.5 against Utah. I do believe in Utah quarterback Cam Rising, but Mike Gundy at home, I'm taking them, and I got the over in that one. Missouri -20 versus Vanderbilt. I got the over 52.5. I think both teams score a lot. Some of these are just bad games, Dave. Texas A&M, I got them covering the 22.5 against Bowling Green. I got the over because they found an offense. I got South Carolina covering the 27.5 against Akron, and I'm taking the over, although South Carolina is so unpredictable. And just a couple more.
I wouldn't bet on any of these games.
I wouldn't either.
Okay.
Well, I know. I would bet on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is going to cover first.
Well, I'll take the Mississippi State game. What are your hot
two more, and then I'll get to the Tennessee one and the best bet. So the two more. Ole Miss minus 36.5. I'm taking that. And I'm taking the under for Georgia Southern, though, because it's too high. It's 67.5. And finally, before best bets, I got Texas covering the 44-point spread at Louisiana Monroe, and I've got the over hitting. I think Arch Manning gets 7 touchdowns. So that's where I'm at with that.
Okay,
right.
So now if you can, I want to break down the Tennessee game. My final thoughts on that. Do we have any other picks left?
So 5 best bets, then we'll get to the Tennessee game because I saved that for last. So my best bets, my best cover. Penn State is covering the 49-point spread against Kent State. I know y'all think that's crazy. You watch Kent State last week. That's the worst team I've ever seen play football. Penn State's covering the 49-point spread.
I agree with that. All right, we're 1-1. We agree.
My other best bet, UCLA does cover the 23-point. They're 23-point underdogs. They won't lose by 23 to LSU. They'll lose by less.
They're like, that is total bullshit.
No, I'm disagreeing with you there. I think LSU puts together. All right, what's next?
All right, my best over, my best under. Clemson versus NC State, over 44.5. That's a low line, and Clemson's offense is coming together. Clemson might surpass that on their own. So I got over 44.5 against NC State.
That's hot.
I'm with you there.
All right, Ohio, Kentucky, take the under 41.5. No scoring in this game whatsoever.
That's hot.
All right.
And then before Tennessee, last one, my upset of the week. Colorado's a 2-point favorite over Baylor. That ain't happening. Baylor's beating Colorado at Colorado.
Wow. Is this because you just don't like Deion Sanders?
No, I think the program's unraveling.
Hey now.
I agree. All right.
Now,
you want to start first, or we're going to tell you what's going to happen in the Tennessee game? And if you could pull up that tweet of, and it's going to be difficult, I know. But as you're doing that, the tweet of my predictions that were sent out, and that might be difficult, but pull it up. So here's what's going to happen in the Tennessee game. And as Caleb's going to show you, I've been all over it in my picks. This will be the first time that Tennessee is going to get really punched in the mouth early. So I don't think this is a fast start for Tennessee. You do have the away crowd. I think Nico's fine. I don't think that he's going to get at all affected by the crowd, really. But I do think it's the first time that Tennessee's offensive line will face a good defense. Maybe not a great defense, but a good defense. So I think it's a slow start, slugfest kind of game. I guess I stole that from Josh Pate, but I thought that beforehand, and we appreciate him being on the program this week. So I think that Tennessee, it's actually pretty close at half. I think it's about a touchdown, 10-point game. Tennessee leads at halftime. And then I think that Caleb is getting attacked by something. What is that? And then I think
the sidewalk construction outside of my house.
Okay, nice. Okay, so then I think that Tennessee, because Brent Venables is going to sell out to stop the run, which is his style, will hit some big plays downfield. They'll pull away. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. It's 35-13. Josh Heupel says tack one on. 42-13 is my pick. I think that the defensive star will be Keenan Pearley with 8 tackles, 2 for a loss. One of those could, or both of those could, be a sack. I believe that Nico will play really, really well. I don't know how to define that necessarily, but I think he throws for over 300 yards. I think he accounts for 4 touchdowns via the air or ground. I think he has a fantastic game, and I'm not blowing smoke, guys. This is what I really believe from sources and from my picks earlier. They're pretty good. That'll be our last look, brought to you by Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Honda, which will include Caleb's pick for the Tennessee game as well.
See every play, even from the upper deck, with LASIK vision correction from the Campbell Cunningham Laser Center.
Okay, so look at my picks there. I had UT over Chattanooga. That was 63. Yeah, I can't see it. Read it off.
Ron Collins has given Dave some credit on Twitter. Says Tennessee beat Chattanooga 63-13. He said Dave, and Dave, he's right. Dave predicted 63-13 for Chattanooga. They won 69-3. 52-17 for NC State. They won 51-10, and 70-3 for Kent State. They won 71-0. And he says, whatever Dave Hooker says, That's my prediction. Dave Hooker has been doing well with his Tennessee picks. Now, guys, here's what he doesn't tell you.
Just leave that up there. I just want to leave that up there if you don't care, right?
Okay, fair enough. Here's what Dave doesn't tell you. Here's what Dave doesn't tell you. Because he's making fun of all of my picks. I've been just as right as Dave on my Tennessee picks. He just doesn't step into the arena and pick with all these other games, okay? Because he's scared. He backs out. He's the Boise State. He plays a strength of schedule outside of the top 100, and I play a top 3 strength of schedule.
I'm terrified. All right. So, okay. So how do you see this breaking down? Similar or not? Because I could also make an argument that Tennessee comes out and blows the doors off in the first quarter because of Venable's tendency to rock down a safety.
As the person who has also been right in every pick with Tennessee this year.
Ouch.
2 reliable picks with Tennessee. They've been going over every game, and they've been covering every game. Very comfortably, too. And so, in this game, I'm not going to change that. Tennessee is going to cover the 7-point spread, and the game will hit the over. But I don't see like a 42-14 thing the way you see, Dave. What I see is more like I'll say it. I think Tennessee beats Oklahoma 30. How about this? 41-20. 41-20. I think Oklahoma. I'm going to revise. Here's what's going to happen. I'm sticking with my prediction of no defensive touchdowns, but they're going to move the ball. Jackson Arnold's going to test Tennessee secondary, so we'll get the field goal range a lot. So they're going to score 4 field goals. And then Tennessee will have some sort of mistake that gives Oklahoma a defensive touchdown. And then they go for 2 and get it. So that's where I get the 20. So 41-20, Tennessee wins. Nico's going to go off, though.